has really changed. People have changed and got adjusted to me.
Okay.
The things I was doing. Several hats that I wore. Just standing up for people's rights. That's before I knew about Reverend Sharpton. That's before other organizations I belong to. I'm part of the Peacekeepers organization, which is an international organization that goes around and talk to men and gather them for 1 hour power a week towards maintaining and going out in our communities, as well as the Polaris Development Group, which I'm talking about economically developing our communities back like it used to be. I'm talking about that Black Wall Street, keeping that black dollar circulating amongst us as a people. And that's what, the economy is very, it's out of whack right now.
Right.
What can bring and stabilize us is our own dollars circulating within us. So there's several hats and things that I wear. And I have not stopped serving the people on the street, as well as in the community, as well as at the table.
Right. Being somebody who probably got interested in, I won't say civil rights, but activism, I'll say that. I initially got interested due to the contributions of people like Chuck D and KRS-One. So along, with that as the basis and saying how you maintain your compass and people adjusted to you, can we say that even back in the, when we first came across Stephen Young, the focus was on economics and empowerment?
And definitely still is. You can see this most of our young people, and you look at all the violence that's going around. The root of most of what we're going on with violence in our families and everywhere else is, economics. Being poor, being oppressed, those type of things. But you cannot. It don't take money to buy peace of mind, and that we must find out that commonality that we have to bring that peace of mind out of each other. Okay. And that's priceless. And I think that's going back to Whitney. And a lot of entertainers that hopefully they're listening to my voice. They have all the money, all the cars, all the houses, probably all the women, but do they have a peace of mind? And a peace of mind, and they can test it if they like. You can just walk through the neighborhood, walk through the hood, walk through, if you can touch anybody, and that's from the White House all the way to the Owl House, all the way to the hood, then you have a peace of mind. Because you're not watching your back, you're not worried about different things, and it has a lot to do with your health as well. So those type of things is very important, and that's what we have in common as a people, and we must concentrate on that peace. Everybody wants peace. No matter what religion you are, no matter what color you are, you want peace.
Yeah. One thing I learned from I spent about a good hour and a half with Jay-Z and Beyonce when they did the groundbreaking for the 40/40 Club. And one thing I learned is money and fame definitely does not insulate you in the way that you would think. And we talked about this before. If anything, it just adds to the pressures and things that you feel, because I've seen them sign autographs and talk to people who they've never seen before for over an hour and a half, and I don't have that kind of time, and I'm nowhere near as busy as those guys. So I think the average person who strives after these things, going back to my Bible, it says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God." I think they don't realize. I think they spend so much time, trying to write that best-selling book, trying to get that, multi-million-dollar contract, trying to get this or that, trying to get a husband or an ex-wife. And once they get there, they don't realize, okay, now guess what? You got a whole nother set of problems, brother. So I'm just saying all that to say I've learned to co-sign that peace of mind is more valuable than all of that.
It's definitely priceless.
But let's talk about money, because that's what you're currently trying to do. Bring some money into Atlantic City and revitalize Kentucky Avenue.
Well, Kentucky Avenue is a very historical culture for an area for the black community. And if you don't know where you came from, how are you going to know where you're going?
Right.
And one thing about a lot of young people from the age of, been born in 1990 on, they are not familiar with a Kentucky Avenue of black businesses, of black
Right.
stores, black
Right.
clubs, where all the entertainers used to come to, right in our neighborhoods and in our hood.
Right.
People, it's out of their mind that was there, because nothing is actually stabilized there that they can actually see and touch.
Right.
And we must bring that back so they can see some type of future. Right now, they see the glitter, the lights, they see the casinos coming up, they're spending $2 billion. They see people in and out of the town making the dollars, no dollars circulating in their communities, and they're unemployed, and their parents have worked for the industry for years. So these are the type of things that they see, and they say, well, where's the light? So we must create our light and create our businesses. And in order to do that, we must come up with a plan. And it's very important that we have a plan. And one thing I found out, I'm a former commissioner of the Housing Authority and Redevelopment Agency, so I was able to travel throughout the country and learn about redevelopment and redevelopment in different communities. And what I've seen in Vegas, Vegas has, like in the west side of Las Vegas, they had slot machines in the clubs and in the stores and in the restaurant. You can have them all over. And we thought that we would have that here, but we didn't have that here. The legislation said you got to have over 500 rooms in order to have a slot machine in it. So what happens to the restaurants that thought that they were going to have slot machines, the hotels that thought they were going to have slot machines? So all that left. One thing we as a people we had back then, and a lot of young people are not aware, because it's not in no history books. And that's why I give you credit about the airways. We need the airways, we need the radio, we need the TV to educate our people so they can see some type of vision, because the newspapers and it's not all that about talking about us. And to have that investigative reporter like yourself that's able to go in the neighborhoods to bring that out, that is very key. So it's very important that we have that connection, because those economics and those things, that our young people look for, they say, look, I don't see no other way to get it. But the drug dealer is the only one that's coming back in the hood. They are consistent.
Say it.
They're consistent. The teachers are not there. The police officers are there beating down. Beating down most of our youth. Some of them are disrespecting, but some of them wants to do right.
Right.
But in order to do that, you have to connect with the people, And we don't see the judges, the lawyers.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna try and get you in trouble now.
Yeah, come on, bring it.
Did you hear the broadcast about 4 weeks ago when we were discussing the Marty Small Ball? And the only reason I bring it up is because of what you said about people maintaining some type of connection with the neighborhood, and I don't want you to say anything that you think might get you in trouble. Although I know you don't. But I understand that. I understand that. But as a guest on my show, I just want to make sure that if anybody's taking the heat, I want to make sure I'm taking the heat, and I can always say no, this is on me, and not somebody I brought on the show. But that's what I'm saying. If for people who had a problem with the movie or the party, call up Stephen Young, call up Moses Delgado, who has not a government office, but an office there. And if they don't like either one of y'all, walk through the neighborhood. Take a nice day like today, take a basketball and go to the court and start dribbling. And an opportunity will, for my Christian people, look, you were called upon to witness, or we were called upon to witness. Here's what you can do if you want to witness. You don't have to put on a suit. Put on some sneakers, a nice sweatsuit, grab you a basketball, go to a basketball court, and just start dribbling. And I guarantee you, our Father will give you an opportunity to witness to someone.
Well, and that's what every religion and everybody's looking for. It's the journey in between life to meet with your Maker. In order to do that you have to know your purpose, and your purpose is towards serving the God that you believe in.